The chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Kweku Agyeman-Manu, has cautioned state institutions who have refused to submit their accounts to the Auditor General's Department for auditing to rescind their decision or be summoned before the Public Accounts Committee. He said expenditure by any state institution must be well accounted for. Mr. Agyeman-Manu said this when representatives from the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, and Divestiture Implementation Committee appeared before the Public Accounts Committee.
The Director General, Mr. Ernest Thompson, led top management from SSNIT to clarify issues put before them by members of the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Thompson told the panel that SSNIT had not submitted its account to the Auditor General since 2005 because it had hired the services of a private auditing firm, Deloitte and Touche, to audit its accounts, and based on the actuarial valuation, the scheme was sound. But panel members insisted that SSNIT renders its account to the Auditor General's Department for auditing. Panel members also wanted to know what mechanisms had been instituted to save about 25% of SSNIT's investments that are not doing well in the country.
The state transport case. And we'll be grateful if we could be assisted by this committee to enable SSNIT, and I think we've been in talks with the ministry also, to offload some of our shares in the transport wing, because it's owned 80% by SSNIT and 20% by government. But we think that the best way out will be for SSNIT to divest itself so that private owners can come in, with Ghanaians also to take over and run it.
The Divestiture Implementation Committee was the next to appear. The Divestiture Implementation Committee is mandated to sell all state property that have collapsed across the country. The acting chief executive, Mr. Richard Nana Ekufu, was asked why his outfit had still not credited monies received from the sales of state property into the consolidated fund.
Most of those funds that were received at that time were used to settle off the liability, the severance awards of those companies involved at that time. As of today, as we speak here, we have ceased that. We are no more doing that anymore. Now, all monies that are received are paid directly to the consolidated fund after the Auditor General complained.
Members were not happy to note that in the Auditor General's report on most sold state property, such property had been partly paid for, but the Divestiture Implementation Committee cannot locate the investors who bought the property, and this property had been resold by the investors in question. Sitting continues tomorrow.